There is no time to waste tonight. And we are getting right down to business, live from Jacksonville. For the first time since WrestleMania, main event, Jey Uso is in the house. And he's making his way to the ring through the WWE Universe, through his people. It is a frenzy in the 5-star Veterans Memorial. The former United States champion losing his crown to LA Knight earlier this month at the grandest stage of them all. But Jey Uso has been on the ride of a lifetime since joining SmackDown back in October. You gotta imagine one hump in the road isn't gonna be the end of Jey Uso's incredible run. We are live tonight for the 5-star Veterans Memorial Arena in Jacksonville, Florida, and Jey Uso is on the scene. Look at this place. One of the most popular stars in WWE today, Jey Uso, is back on SmackDown. Second, Jey Uso may have some unwanted company. And this is not Monday Night Raw, ladies and gentlemen. This is Thursday Night SmackDown, where after the draft this past Monday night, the Prince, Finn Balor, is now bleeding blue. Everybody knows the history between the Judgment Day and the Usos, the Judgment Day and the Anoa'i family. Jey Uso here on SmackDown because he was booted off Monday Night Raw along with his brother all the way back in September, thanks to the Judgment Day. Finn Balor recently cut his ties with Damian Priest and said himself and Dominic Mysterio were going to reestablish the dominance of the group. What is Balor doing out here, right now? Taking a long-awaited shot at Finn Balor. Well, you heard Jey. He's been waiting some time to be back in the ring with Finn since the month of September, to be exact. Oh, well, Finn Balor came here prepared for a fight. We saw how dangerous Balor can be when he stabbed Damian Priest in the back several weeks ago on Raw. Damian Priest nursing bruised ribs thanks to numerous coup de grace by the Prince Finn Balor. Well, Balor, I'm sure, would love to do the same to main event Jey Uso and make a statement here on his first night on SmackDown, but Jey Uso has been waiting some time, and he isn't going to give Balor exactly what he wants. Main event Jey Uso out here trying to make a proclamation for future championship gold. Finn Balor spoiling the fun, and he may regret that decision. Balor on the outside, here comes Jey. A hot and heavy way to kick things off here on SmackDown. But ladies and gentlemen, still to come tonight from Jacksonville, the World Heavyweight Champion, the Man Dragon, Ilja Dragunov, will be in the house. We hear from Ilja for the first time since winning the world title at WrestleMania and of course retaining the gold last week over Drew McIntyre inside the steel cage. That is coming up later tonight here on SmackDown. But right here, right now, we got tag team action, some bad blood, and possible championship implications hang in the balance.
The following contest is a tag team match set for one fall. Introducing first, from Atlanta, Georgia, weighing in at 220 pounds,
Theory returns to action after a WrestleMania loss, but will he be able to turn his luck around? Coming up next, he joins alongside the man they call him, Carmelo Hayes. Melo spoiled the United States Championship match last week between LA Knight and Trick Williams. Now Knight and Trick unite to take on Melo and Austin Theory. This tag team match is coming up next live on SmackDown. Can't get enough Universe mode? Well, now is your chance to secure a backstage pass to more Universe than ever before. Become a Noah Nation Gaming channel member and gain entry to exclusive kickoff shows before each and every premium live event. Also, witness bi-monthly house shows that directly affect your episodic viewing of Universe mode. Also, take a peek behind the curtain and see how Universe mode is brought to life each and every week. Hit the join button down below, become a Backstage Pass Noah Nation Gaming channel member, and get your front row seat to more Universe than ever before. And it's a better time than any to become a Noah Nation Gaming channel member, because coming up on Saturday night, April the 12th, it's Spring Stampede, a channel member exclusive live event. Hit the join button down below, become a Noah Nation Gaming channel member, and don't miss Spring Stampede on the 12th of April. We are back on SmackDown. And there is some bad blood that we hope to be settled in the midst of this tag team bout. Well, let us take you back to last week on SmackDown, live from Tampa. Trick Williams with the United States Championship opportunity against the megastar LA Knight. Trick coming within inches of taking down LA Knight and taking away the red, white, blue, and gold. Unfortunately, Trick's arch rival, his former friend, Carmelo Hayes, arriving on the scene with a steel chair and ensuring that Trick Williams would not be leaving Tampa with championship gold that Melo once held. Of course, it was back at WrestleMania that Trick Williams defeated Carmelo Hayes. Certainly a victory that catapulted him to becoming the #1 contender last week. That did not sit well with Trick's former friend in Carmelo Hayes. Melo ensuring that Trick was going to leave Tampa empty-handed. And now here we are again, set to write another chapter between the ex-best friends Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes. You gotta wonder, Austin Theory in this matchup as well. He has had run-ins with Trick Williams and LA Knight in recent months. But Theory, a man who's gonna be eyeing up the United States Championship. All eyes are on the rightful holder of the red, white, blue, and gold. Well, we saw the man that Jey Uso, or I should say the man that LA Knight defeated moments ago in Jey Uso at WrestleMania to win the United States Championship. Obviously, Jey with his own business to handle. Meanwhile, LA Knight in the ring with 3 superstars who would love an opportunity at that very gold. All around the world, it's the same song. LA Knight, one of the most popular superstars in the WWE today, moved to SmackDown after winning the United States Championship, finds his home in the blue brand these days, and is looking to keep down the right path with a victory tonight. Austin Theory set to kick things off in this tag team matchup with Trick Williams, and I'm sure Trick Williams and LA Knight, no bad blood there after what we saw last week. Of course, a competitive matchup between those two men, but I'm sure a great amount of respect, and I gotta imagine and what we saw with Carmelo Hayes interrupting that matchup between Trick Williams and LA Knight last week. I'm sure LA Knight did not want to retain his championship that way. Obviously, business to handle tonight. Trick Williams looking to get his hands on Carmelo Hayes. I'm sure Melo wants to get that victory back. The Trick took him down at WrestleMania. And meanwhile, you got an X Factor in Austin Theory here tonight, agreeing to team with Carmelo Hayes. But you got to imagine Theory only agreed to this matchup so that he get one step closer to LA Knight and the United States Championship. Theory had a run-in with LA Knight on the final SmackDown before the Elimination Chamber back in February. Of course, in the midst of his rivalry with Randy Orton, who is now off to Monday Night Raw thanks to the draft, Theory's eye was taken off the ball. It was a huge victory for LA Knight, one that certainly put him into conversations to challenge for the United States Championship at WrestleMania. And now with Austin Theory, although he did not defeat Randy Orton at WrestleMania, has put that situation behind him. Orton's off to Raw. Theory traveling down a new path here on SmackDown, and it could be the challenge for the United States Championship. There's the tag made of Carmelo Hayes after an explosive athleticism shown by Theory. Carmelo Hayes taking the fight to Trick Williams just as he did 7 nights ago in Tampa. Carmelo Hayes, the man who stabbed Trick in the back. He's watching the rise of Trick Williams. We can get it out correctly here. For months on end here on SmackDown. It was at the same time that Carmelo Hayes' bad luck was really starting to stack up, and dare I say it has continued even after turning his back on Trick. It has been some time since Melo's got his hand raised inside of that squared circle. Melo's been met with hump in the road after roadblock. Of course, losing the United States Championship many months ago. Oh, now he turns to the tensions of the champion himself. Once again, LA Knight knocked off the apron by the illegal combatant. Melo now heading to the top. Trick looking up at the lights of the Veterans Memorial, and Melo dropping him on the dime with the frog splash. Never taking anything away from the athleticism, the talent of the one-of-one superstar called Carmelo Hayes. He is just that. He is a special talent inside of that ring. And he's going to be a main event star here on SmackDown one day. But he's got to get the job done where it matters most. And he certainly can't be obsessed with trying to tear down what Trick Williams is building. Austin Theory getting tagged in, and Trick Williams has just had no room to breathe the last couple of minutes. Theory and Melo have isolated the young man, and they are ensuring that the veteran, the United States champion LA Knight, cannot join the fray here in Tampa. This is great strategy by Theory and Melo. Dare I say, I'm surprised they're working so well. These are two men who, not only did Melo cut ties with Trick recently here on SmackDown, Austin Theory going back to the fall, cutting his ties with Grayson Waller of A-Town Down Under. Two men who love the spotlight for themselves coming together tonight, and they have been oh so affected tearing down Trick Williams. The Trick Williams showing you why firsthand. He has continued to rise here on SmackDown. Ever resilient is that young man. Even when you think you got him down, he knows how to rise, and he knows how to fight. He has had some big opportunities in recent months. Trick Williams, although seeing some of those opportunities go up in smoke, continues to get better. And finally, a tag made of the megastar, the United States champion LA Knight, who comes in a house of fire with a big boot. LA LA Knight and Austin Theory back here in a SmackDown ring for the first time since February. Remember what we said the last time they went one-on-one, it was LA Knight who picked up the victory. They crossed paths as well in the Elimination Chamber matchup back in February as well. LA Knight bringing the fight to Austin Theory, and how dare I say a surprise tag to Trick Williams. Not giving Trick Williams too much room to breathe, but never want to question the forte of the champion and his partner tonight, Trick Williams. That looked like an 8-count down under to me. Or an 8-count down, simply, excuse me. Nonetheless, Trick Williams dishing the fight to Austin Theory. Theory might have survived thanks to Carmelo Hayes. But the momentum has drastically shifted here on SmackDown. The United States champion, once again, your legal combatant. And a shoulder block over the top rope. LA Knight ever smooth with it, going to the top. Oh, but Austin Theory wise to get the hell out of dodge. Tags in Carmelo Hayes, doesn't do him any good. I'm sure LA Knight's got a bone to pick with Melo. That matchup not going how LA Knight would have liked last week either. First 48. LA Knight able to survive. Trick getting his hands on Carmelo as well. LA Knight proven already to be a fighting champion last week. Both him and Trick coming out of WrestleMania with huge victories. Wanted to retain his title on his own accord, but Carmelo Hayes didn't give him that satisfaction. Carmelo Hayes now off the first 48 and a cheap shot. His old tag team partner, his old running buddy in Trick Williams. I'll tell you what, LA Knight showed some signs of life for his tandem, but Carmelo Hayes would have switched this matchup, put it on its head after that first 48. A former United States champion in his own right, a great champion at that. Carmelo Hayes not only looking to get back at Trick Williams, looking to get back in championship contention here on SmackDown. LA Knight rolling to the outside. He may have his bell rung after that first 48, a maneuver that has brought Melo so much success. Knight able to create a little distance. We saw it at WrestleMania. LA Knight gonna fight till he hears a bell. Dropping Melo. LA Knight with a little bit of size and power advantage there. Couple of elbows in the corner, collapsing his competitor. Now here's Trick Williams unloading on Carmelo Hayes. Now into the cover goes old Trick Willie, and Carmelo Hayes gonna survive. You know, we talked about it at WrestleMania, how therapeutic it must have been for Trick Williams not only to be in the ring with Carmelo Hayes, but to get that victory over Melo. Unfortunately for Carmelo Hayes, it was an unsatisfactory night in Philadelphia, but it was oh so satisfactory for Trick Williams. Trick will get to do so again, get another feather in the cap over Carmelo Hayes. Just when you think Trick's starting to rally in this matchup, Melo and Austin Theory have been giving them hell. Austin Theory back inside the ring with the man he started this matchup with, Trick Williams. Remember months ago, back in the final SmackDown of 2024, there's a, well, you thought it was gonna be another cheap shot. LA Knight read that playbook a couple of times throughout this matchup. Little standoff here between Theory and the United States champion. Oh, Theory goaded him in. He's young, he's brash, he's bold, and he's certainly confident. That's Austin Theory for you. As we were about to mention on the final SmackDown of last year, remember Trick Williams running the gauntlet, trying to become #1 contender for the United States Championship. Lasted from the beginning all the way to the end. His victory, of course, spoiled by Austin Theory, who kept down Trick Williams in the final bout of that contest. Well, hold on here. We got eyes on Trick and Austin Theory inside the ring, but Carmelo Hayes is going after the United States champion, LA Knight, on the outskirts. All the while, Theory and Trick jockeying for position in the middle of the squared circle. Clearly, Melo trying to divide and conquer as the United States champion looking worse for wear on the outside. Trick Williams trying his damnedest to survive in this contest. Look at the strength by Trick, dropping Theory with a powerbomb. Now Austin Theory off the sidestep. LA Knight and Melo still going at it on the outside. Trick Williams wants a victory and wants it bad. Austin Theory didn't come here and agree to team with Melo for no reason, however. Who's going to get what they want? LA Knight down on the outside. Backslide by Theory. Theory caught him. Victory for Theory and Hayes.
Here are your winners, the team of Austin Theory and Carmelo Hayes.
Well, a competitive tag team bout here on SmackDown. And ladies and gentlemen, two men who are no strangers to tag team wrestling are going to be in your main event. After what we saw at the top of the hour, main event Jey Uso is set for a one-on-one contest against an oh-so-familiar foe. The Prince Finn Balor arrives in the ring on SmackDown. Balor, Jey, one-on-one, live right here tonight from Jacksonville on SmackDown. WrestleMania has come and gone, but the aftershock is only beginning. The fallout from the biggest stage has sent shockwaves through the WWE, and now the first battleground of the new season awaits at Backlash. Live from the LDLC Arena in Lyon, France, championships will be defended, rivalries reignited, and scores settled in an unforgiving fashion. The future is now, and the future is coming to France. Who will rise? Who will fall? And who will seize their moment in the chaos? The road beyond WrestleMania kickstarts here at WWE Backlash. We're back live on Thursday Night SmackDown. Tonight inside a sold-out ViStar Veterans Memorial in Jacksonville, Florida. New SmackDown draftees Piper Niven and Chelsea Green are on the scene. Chelsea already fell short to Jade Cargill earlier this week on Raw. Now here on SmackDown, she's about to have her hands full. The new Women's World Champion is on the scene.
And her opponent, representing the Kabuki Warriors from Tokyo, Japan, the WWE Women's World Champion Iyo Sky.
It was earlier this month at a WrestleMania in the middle of Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia that the genius of the Sky, Iyo Sky, took down Raquel Rodriguez in an incredible performance by both women to become the new Women's World Champion. Iyo Sky certainly building momentum throughout 2025. One of the final combatants in the Royal Rumble matchup, winning the Elimination Chamber and then capitalizing on the opportunity at WrestleMania. Iyo Sky at the helm of the women's division here on SmackDown as its champion. As Jacksonville showing the genius of the Sky their love. Chelsea Green here on SmackDown for the first time tonight. Looking at the opportunity at hand here. She may have come up short to Jade Cargill, one half of the women's tag team champions on Raw Monday night. And drafted to SmackDown in the lottery momentarily. But now Green in the ring with the women's world champion. Certainly a victory tonight to put Chelsea Green at the front of the line to become #1 contender. Certainly an opportunity to make her momentum go from south to north real quick. Ever since the opening bell, Chelsea Green's been all over the new women's world champion. A couple of weeks since Iyo Sky's been in action, somebody who stays ready. You gotta wonder if there's any ring rust there. We'll find out momentarily. Iyo Sky, couple of shots, trying to feel out Chelsea Green. First time ever matchup here. Chelsea Green, as we mentioned, new to SmackDown tonight. A little bit a part of the Blue Brand, always been a Monday Night Raw superstar. Piper Niven alongside Chelsea Green. Io's gonna have to look out for that X Factor. Iyo Sky, of course, the Kabuki Warrior sisters. and Asuka and the Women's United States Champion Kairi Sane. Iyo Sky, however, not somebody who needs to be followed out to the ring each and every week. She knows how to get the job done on her own. Beautiful. Missile drop kick that time by a woman who loves to leave the soles of her boots. Speaking of the Women's United States Champion Kairi Sane, what about what we saw last week here on SmackDown? Kairi retaining her championship over Alexa Bliss, who has now been drafted to Raw. Great matchup in the middle of Tampa, Florida. Moments later, the return, the WWE return of a former women's champion in her own right, Naomi, who's officially a part of the SmackDown roster. Naomi making her way down the aisle, staring into the eyes of Kairi Sane. Gotta imagine Naomi looking to stake her claim as a future contender for the United States Championship. Would love to see that contest down the line. All the while, Iyo Sky is at the helm of the division. I'm sure there is a locker room full of women, both new and old to SmackDown, who are looking to get their hands on Iyo Sky and have an opportunity to take away her gold, and that's what Chelsea Green is looking to do here. Turn her momentum around, been on a streak of some bad luck. Maybe tonight is where she can upset Iyo Sky and put herself and Piper Niven in championship conversations. And we saw moments ago, oh wait, hold that thought, Chelsea Green, that might be the knockout blow. Or maybe not. Iyo Sky brushing it off. As we were about to mention, moments ago, you saw Austin Theory and Carmelo Hayes in the ring with Trick Williams and the United States Champion LA Knight. Theory and Melo with the victory, a pinfall for Austin Theory in that matchup. They just put themselves through the front of the line for the United States title. Certainly any given week, a chance to bust down the door of opportunity here on SmackDown. Blue Brand, many a year, is called the land of opportunity, and certainly as we continue to progress throughout this new season, new talent coming to SmackDown thanks to the draft lottery. Some arrivals last week, Javon Evans from NXT joining the SmackDown brand, Naomi returning. It's a whole new landscape here on SmackDown, and anything can happen each and every Thursday night. Iyo Sky just trying to hold the momentum of Chelsea Green. She has certainly shown some signs of life in this matchup. Genius of the Sky, however, pushed to her brink at WrestleMania by the former Women's World Champion, the powerhouse, Raquel Rodriguez. Iyo was able to outlast that challenge. Will she be able to turn away Chelsea Green tonight? Iyo Sky with a suicide dive to the outside. When have we ever, and I think the answer would be never, not seen Iyo Sky throw her body in harm's way, all in the means of success. Iyo willing to throw caution in the wind as long as she gets her hand raised on the other side of the bell. Chelsea Green's being reminded of that firsthand. Oh man, Chelsea on top. This week maybe going from bad to worse for Miss Green. Iyo Sky perched on top. Chelsea about to go for a ride. Spanish fly. Jacksonville on their feet. Iyo scales the ropes again. No fear. Another Women's World Champion over the moonsault. Chelsea Green, thanks for coming. Welcome to SmackDown. Your week just went from bad to worse.
Here is your winner, Iyo Sky.
Although it may not be a successful week for Chelsea Green, Iyo Sky is showing the WWE Universe exactly why she is the Women's World Champion. Oh, wait a minute. That's Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan from behind, ambushing Iyo Sky. Well, Liv Morgan, who was drafted from Raw over here to SmackDown this past Monday night, ambushing the champion and cracking her over the skull with her very Women's World title. Well, Liv Morgan may have just staked her claim, a former champion in her own right. And she wants some gold here on Thursday Night SmackDown. Iyo never saw it coming. And when she realizes what just happened, oh, is she gonna be ticked? Well, ladies and gentlemen, nonetheless, we move on. We take you back to last week in Tampa. Speaking of championships, the Cruiserweight title was on the line. Dirty Dominic Mysterio able to retain the gold over a game Dragon Lee of the Latino World Order. And after the bout, Dominic Mysterio continuing to add insult to injury, looking to send a message to the SmackDown locker room. An ambush on Dragon Lee at ringside. But what Dom did not see coming was the arrival of NXT's young OG, Javon Evans, who arrived on the scene, came to the aid of Dragon Lee, and gave Dominic Mysterio a series of combinations that he won't soon forget. A shocking arrival last week, and now next week, live from State Farm Arena in Atlanta, Javon Evans competes here on SmackDown for the very first time. It's a non-title encounter with the Cruiserweight Champion Dominic Mysterio. Opportunity at the highest. Dirty Dom versus the young OG. It's going down next Thursday night in Atlanta on SmackDown.
The following contest is a tag team match set for one fall. On the way to the ring, at a combined weight of 336 pounds, the WWE Tag Team Champions, Nathan Frazier and Axiom.
Fraxium right here on SmackDown in action, and they're coming up next live from Jacksonville. Can't get enough Universe mode? Well, now is your chance to secure a backstage pass to more Universe than ever before. Become a Noah Nation Gaming channel member and gain entry to exclusive kickoff shows before each and every premium live event. Also, witness bi-monthly house shows that directly affect your episodic viewing of Universe mode. Also, take a peek behind the curtain and see how Universe mode is brought to life each and every week. Hit the join button down below, become a Backstage Pass Noah Nation Gaming channel member, and get your front row seat to more Universe than ever before. Well, SmackDown certainly receiving one pretty facelift in the draft this past Monday night. Elton Prince and Kit Wilson of Pretty Deadly have arrived here on Thursday Night SmackDown. And talk about going right into the line of fire, 2v2 against the current reigning WWE Tag Team Champions, Axiom and Nathan Frazier. Fraxium! I'll tell you what, this should be an exciting bout between four young, hungry superstars here in the blue brand. Fraxium already at the top of the division, but always willing to step into the ring with the best that SmackDown has to offer. And here we go with Nathan Frazier and Elton Prince kicking things off. Pretty Deadly, former NXT Tag Team Champions, and over the last year and a half since they joined the Monday Night Raw roster, they've shown some glimmers here and there, but they really have not had a chance to break out on the scene, have really been unable to take advantage of any opportunity that has come their way. Maybe some fresh scenery here on SmackDown is going to be exactly what Pretty Deadly needs to get their careers back on track. I'll tell you, Nathan Frazier and Axiom, they have been riding the high of a lifetime over the last couple of months. Winning an Eliminator Series in the back half of 2024, defeating the LWO in the middle of Madison Square Garden in January at the Royal Rumble to win the WWE Tag Team titles. Of course, retaining those championships on WrestleMania Saturday against the LWO, Andrade and Santos Escobar as well in the Triangle Ladder match. Frazier and Axiom, two men known to push the pace, live by the mantra of never slow down. Tonight, Pretty Deadly got to do exactly what Elton Prince is doing at the current moment, and that's grounding these high-flying superstars. Former NXT Tag Team Champions, as we mentioned, and although Fraxium has thrived as a tandem in recent months, still have to say that Pretty Deadly has more tag team experience, but I'm not sure it has really mattered. Nathan Frazier and Axiom, no matter who they've been in the ring with, have flourished. LWO, Andrade, and Santos. Hell, these two men took down the New Day several months ago here on SmackDown. Now look at the speed by Axiom and Frazier as Axiom gets tagged in. Never slow down is not just a tagline, folks. These men wake up every day and live it. It's exactly why they're the current reigning WWE Tag Team Champions today. Catch them if you can. Or in that case, Axiom's going to be the one to catch you. Axiom and Frazier just about a year ago started teaming up for the very first time. Took on A-Town Down Under for the WWE Tag Team titles all the way last May at Battleground. They were unsuccessful, but we saw even on that night that Axiom and Nathan Frazier could be something special as a tag team. Took them a little while to get going, but in the back half of 2024, they found their footing, and look at what it has brung them. The top spot in the division today, as Kit Wilson now tagged in, trying to keep down and slow down Axiom, but again, easier said than done inside of that ring, and a beautifully executed uppercut. I'll tell you, we can rant and rave about the talents of Fraxium all day long till we're blue in the face, but make no mistake about it, Pretty Deadly brings their own talent to that ring, their own repertoire that can easily bring them success. They just gotta find the right night to execute. Tag made to Nathan Frazier again. Look at this, a little power out of Fraxium. WWE Tag Team Champions just continuing to add to their arsenals and continuing to get better. Springboard, moonsault by Frazier. This one's not over yet. Elton Prince gonna ensure this tag team duo, this tag team matchup does not come to a conclusion on Pretty Deadly's first night on SmackDown. They want to make sure they're walking away in flying colors. Same sentiments as we have said throughout the night can be said. Elton Prince and Kit Wilson, 1 W here, and they can find themselves as future #1 contenders. Talk about a way to enter the SmackDown brand as Nathan Frazier soaring to the outside off the suicide dive. Kit Wilson taken out as Nathan Frazier doing what he does best. I'll tell you, Pretty Deadly have shown a couple of glimmers in this matchup, but this has been a showcase by the WWE Tag Team Champions. I hate to say it, but that's really been the story of Pretty Deadly's run on Monday Night Raw. Would hate to see that continue for them here on SmackDown, but Fraxium may not give them a choice. The tag made to Elton Prince again. Pretty Deadly doing all they can to stay fresh in this matchup and throw the tag team champions off their game, but Frazier and Axiom just looking to be at the top of it. Nice lariat to the back of the head by Elton Prince. These men, former NXT champions, former NXT United Kingdom Tag Team champions, maybe a victory tonight could find themselves in the running for the WWE Tag Team titles. Just when you think Pretty Deadly have turned the tables, Nathan Frazier and Axiom giving them a taste of something they don't like. Elton Prince in the corner. Frazier gonna close the gap. Nathan Frazier now full head of steam. He's got rockets on those boots. Frazier now up top. Elton looking up at the lights of the Veterans Memorial. Frog splash by Frazier. And a kick out that time. Pretty Deadly hanging in there with the WWE Tag Team Champions. A little distance created now by Elton Prince. Exactly what Pretty Deadly needs. They gotta find a way to ground Fraxium in this matchup. The high-flying maneuvers, the quick wits of Frazier and Axiom inside of that ring have been to their benefit time and time again. You take out the wind, a man might not be able to fight, dropping Frazier right on the knee, and then goes for the schoolboy. Unfortunately, not enough to keep Nathan Frazier down. And again, Pretty Deadly trying to keep each other fresh. Oh, you see Kit Wilson now sending Nathan Frazier back inside the ring, not by will, but by force. And Elton Prince, this is what we're talking about. This is what Pretty Deadly needs to do. Pretty Deadly, not just a fancy name. They can be physical inside of that ring. It's what brought them success in the past. Off the sidestep by Frazier. And Nathan Frazier dishing the fight back to Kit Wilson. After Wilson put his hands on Frazier on the outskirts a few moments ago. There's Axiom now, turning the tables, sending Elton Prince back inside the ring. Pretty Deadly cut in half here. Nathan Frazier. Tag made to Axiom. The WWE Tag Team Champions working like a well-oiled machine. We've seen this song and dance before. 450 splash by Frazier. Axiom from the head-ends with a moonsault. And into the cover goes Axiom. Champions. Oh, wait a minute. More coffee. Wolfgang of Gallus. We remember Gallus drafted from NXT to SmackDown this past Monday night at the Draft Lottery. More Kofi and Wolfgang ambushing Fraxium here on... Oh, wait a minute now. Wait, there's the last member of the trio, Joe Coffey, backstage ambushing the United States Champion LA Knight. Gallus is here on SmackDown, and they're targeting the champions. A celebration cut short for Fraxium. LA Knight, after already being upset earlier this evening, now has to deal with Joe Coffey, who just wiped him out in the backstage area. WrestleMania has come and gone, but the aftershock is only beginning. The fallout from the biggest stage has sent shockwaves through the WWE, and now the first battleground of the new season awaits at Backlash. Live from the LDLC Arena in Lyon, France, championships will be defended, rivalries reignited, and scores settled in an unforgiving fashion. The future is now, and the future is coming to France. Who will rise? Who will fall? And who will seize their moment in the chaos? The road beyond WrestleMania kickstarts here at WWE Backlash. We're back live here in the Veterans Memorial, and well, I don't know what any of this is about. It's Dominic Mysterio, the Cruiserweight Champion, and that's Liv Morgan, who we saw out here earlier tonight, ambushing Iyo Sky. Well, I don't even want to speculate there, but we're going to move on because the World Heavyweight Champion is here in his house on SmackDown. Hot off the heels of main eventing WrestleMania, winning the World Championship, and of course retaining it last week in Tampa inside a solid steel cage over his arch rival Drew McIntyre. Ilja finally putting to bed damn near a year's worth of pain and suffering, coming out on the other side of war, waving the flag of the blue brand, somebody this industry can be proud of as the World Heavyweight Champion. And now Ilja Dragunov as the champion. What is going through his mind? What's next for the Mad Dragon? After burying Drew McIntyre 6 feet under last week, there is a competition, or shall I say there's a locker room full of competition waiting to get their hands on the man they call the Czar. Well, Ilja Dragunov basking in the glory of being World Heavyweight Champion. But I think he's got some company in a man who knows that feeling oh so well. Another former World Heavyweight Champion who had his own problems with Drew McIntyre. Cody Rhodes, of course, not the man pinned at WrestleMania, but fell short in his pursuit of the big gold belt nonetheless. The American Nightmare is in Jacksonville. And certainly to a massive ovation in the middle of the VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena. A great amount of respect, I'm sure, between Cody Rhodes and the World Heavyweight Champion Ilja Dragunov. But I don't know if this is what Dragunov was expecting here tonight. Certainly an immense amount of respect between the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes and the World Heavyweight Champion Ilja Dragunov. If and when a time comes for another chapter to be written, I am sure it'll be written in absolute fireworks. But ladies and gentlemen, coming up next here in Jacksonville, from respect to absolutely none of it, the Prince Finn Balor, inside a SmackDown ring, takes on main event Jey Uso. It's coming up live next on SmackDown. Can't get enough Universe mode? Well, now is your chance to secure a backstage pass to more Universe than ever before. Become a Noah Nation Gaming channel member and gain entry to exclusive kickoff shows before each and every premium live event. Also, witness bi-monthly house shows that directly affect your episodic viewing of Universe Mode. Also, take a peek behind the curtain and see how Universe Mode is brought to life each and every week. Hit the join button down below, become a Backstage Pass Noah Nation Gaming channel member, and get your front row seat to more Universe than ever before. Earlier tonight, Austin Theory securing the pinfall victory for his team. Now, next week in his hometown of Atlanta, Austin Theory is set to go one-on-one with the megastar LA Knight. The United States Championship will be on the line. That's next Thursday in Atlanta, right here on SmackDown. But the party continues as main event Jey Uso is set for action. If there was any doubt of the popularity of this superstar, then look around Jacksonville as the VyStar Veterans Memorial has been on their feet twice tonight for the arrival of main event Jey Uso. But the party about to come to an end. Jey Uso's got some bad blood that he's been waiting to settle since the month of September. The reason Jey's on SmackDown today, partially, is because this single individual, that being the Judgment Day's Finn Balor.
And his opponent, representing the Judgment Day, from Bray, County Wicklow, Ireland, weighing in at 190 pounds, Finn Balor!
And of course now, thanks to the draft lottery, Finn Balor also finds his home right here on SmackDown. And I'm sure he's not minding the transfer, as Cruiserweight Champion Dominic Mysterio, of course, moved to SmackDown after winning his very gold at WrestleMania. We heard from Finn Balor not only earlier tonight, but this past Monday night on Raw, running down Damian Priest, even taking some shots at Rhea Ripley, explaining why he turned his back on Damian and why Dominic Mysterio feels the same. Sounded like a load of jealousy to me, but what does come from this is Balor and Mysterio are now here on SmackDown, and they got one mission: to reshape the future of the Judgment Day, to reestablish dominance once again. If those two men have their way, SmackDown could very well become the house of the Judgment Day. And it could all start here tonight. But standing in Finn Balor's way is a man he knows oh so well, main event Jey Uso. Jey Uso here on SmackDown today because the Usos were banished from Monday Night Raw by the Judgment Day at the end of an incredible rivalry last September at No Mercy. Jey Uso, of course, has flourished here on the blue brand, but running into Finn Balor, the last thing he expected upon arriving at Oh, wait a minute. Hold on here. Well, the bell has sounded, and to no surprise, really, Cruiserweight Champion Dominic Mysterio has made his way to ringside. Now, of course, watching the back of Finn Balor. We have seen some interesting tactics out of the Judgment Day in recent months. Damian Priest riding by himself several times inside of that ring. Balor and Dom being torn apart by Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins on Raw. But again, after what we heard from Finn Balor, himself and Dominic Mysterio looking to reestablish the Judgment Day here on SmackDown. Dominic at ringside, Balor in the ring, and that could all start here tonight in Jacksonville. Jey Uso, although flourishing on SmackDown week in and week out since arriving on Halloween night last October, winning the United States Championship, losing it at WrestleMania, Jey Uso has been on an incredible ride. The Judgment Day could, however, bring that momentum, bring that party to a screeching halt. I'm sure Jey Uso going to do everything in his power to not allow the Judgment Day to get going here on SmackDown and repeat history that Jey does not want to revisit. Balor on the outside. We got a flying Uso here at the Veterans Memorial. Finn Balor being reminded of a man who was a thorn in his side, a thorn in the Judgment Day side, for months in 2024. So much history between these two men. And Finn Balor looking to use Jey Uso as a stepping stone to success here on SmackDown. I'm sure Jey Uso would have loved to avoid the Judgment Day at any and all costs, but Balor's the one who interrupted him earlier tonight, and now Jey Uso with a very therapeutic opportunity, getting his hands on Finn just as he did at the top of the hour here in Jacksonville. This crowd ever behind main event Jey Uso, but Jey better not get lost in that party or Finn Balor's going to make him regret it. Saw how dangerous Finn can certainly be. But he put Damian Priest on the shelf last Monday night on Raw. Many coup de grace. I think it was more than 10. I can't even count on two hands how many times Finn Balor left the top rope and delivered that double stomp to the now bruised rib cage of Damian Priest. How do you think Damian Priest feels seeing Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio now here on SmackDown, all the while he's left on Monday Night Raw? Even when Priest recovers, even when he's back in action, There's going to be no Judgment Day for him to get his hands on. Certainly would not want to be Damian Priest, having to deal with all those emotions and certainly deal with the injuries that he sustained against the Prince. Nonetheless, that's Damian Priest's problem on Monday Night Raw to handle. Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio are here on SmackDown, and it's up to Jey Uso at the given moment to handle this unit and stop them before they even get going. Jey Uso, all the tools to do so. Did not hold the United States champion from Halloween night all the way to WrestleMania Sunday for no reason. Defeating the likes of J.D. McDonough, Carmelo Hayes, Austin Theory. And those are just some of the championship bouts. Trick Williams as well. Jey Uso very active here on SmackDown. Has really become one of the faces of Thursday nights. Taking Finn Balor out. Meanwhile, you see Dominic Mysterio doing what the Judgment Day does best. Dominic exposing that steel into the corner. Judgment Day willing to take any underhanded tactic needed to succeed. Some of the reasons why they've been so successful over the last few years. Jey Uso leveling Finn Balor with that shot. This matchup isn't over yet. Now we're talking about all the history between Jey and the Judgment Day. Remember last August, Dominic Mysterio, the Intercontinental Champion over on Monday Night Raw, he defended that very gold against main event Jey Uso. There's a very good chance Jey would have been successful winning the Intercontinental title had it not been for the numbers game of the Judgment Day. Just one of the many chapters in that ever-growing rivalry that came to a halt back at No Mercy in September, but now we revisit it right here tonight on Thursday Night SmackDown. Not a lot of sustained momentum in this matchup, but I think that really has to do with how well these two men know each other. They've been in the ring so many times before, whether it's been in singles or multiple man tag team matches. Finn Balor off the drop kick. Charles Robinson sliding into the fall. But again, Jey Uso able to survive. Well, luckily, Charles Robinson, I believe, just caught that exposed steel in the corner before it could spell disaster for Jey Uso. Meanwhile, Balor over the top rope. We've seen Jey Uso leave the soles of his boots, but there's the Prince, who is a man who is not afraid to go high risk, high reward either. Finn Balor looking to show the entire SmackDown locker room what the Judgment Day can be capable of. He wants the Judgment Day to establish their dominance here on SmackDown, become the most dangerous version of the group yet. Tonight is going to be the first chapter if Balor and Dom have their way. Count of 6 by referee Charles Robinson as Jey Uso tries to shake off the cobwebs after coming into a collision with that LED post. What a kick by Jey! Finn Balor tried to close the gap. Jey Uso making him regret it. Jey throwing some haymakers. Finn Balor might have shown his best hands. Electric chair. Balor crawled away into the cover. Into the corner. Oh, wait a minute here. The Cruiserweight Champion Dominic Mysterio distracting Jey Uso momentarily, and it allows Finn Balor the opportunity. Fireman's carry position. Oh, Jey Uso familiar with those distractions by the numbers of the Judgment Day. Able to slide out of it that time. Able to brush it off. Jacksonville on their feet for main event Jey Uso. Finn Balor brought to his feet. Into the corner he goes. Jey's got something for the Cruiserweight Champ as he takes out Dom at ringside. Collapsing Finn in the corner. Jey may have beaten the numbers of the Judgment Day tonight. Oh, so familiar with their game. Headed up to the top, looking for a little Uso splash. Therapy by physical demand for main event Jey Uso and... oh no, wait a minute. The hell's J.D. McDonough doing out here? Finn Balor takes advantage of the distraction by the Irish Ace. Will Dom take it out? J.D. taking Jey's eye off the ball, and Balor dropping him right on his crown. Jey thought he beat the numbers of the Judgment Day, but he did not factor in J.D. McDonough.
Here is your winner, Finn Balor.
And why would he? Jey Uso thinking he only had to figure out a solution for Finn and Dom. Here comes the Irish Ace taking his eye off the ball and allowing Finn Balor to capitalize. Well, Balor said on Monday night that no matter where the Judgment Day lie, their dominance would be reestablished. And I don't want to make assumptions, but I think Balor may have just added to the ranks of the black and purple unit. Balor and the Judgment Day entirely have arrived on SmackDown. And that may equal one thing for the rest of the locker room. Doomsday may be upon us on Thursday nights.
Nothing can stop this.